Most of the questions that people have which troubles them, which they are seeking answers for, which they are probably all the time worried about, is career. It's like choices that we are making, the choices that we have already made. Those are prime in our minds. What to do, about what already has been done. To take decisions is a forever process. Every day you have to take a number of decisions, some more critical than the others. You need to understand that all of us are making decisions which are not similar. Many of us are processing information in particular ways and then taking the call, the decision based on that. Why is that? When most of us probably got the same education and read the same books. But the way we process information, the decisions we take, and the calls we make with our lives is totally different. And that results actually, you are the sum total of the decisions you make. So the result can be vastly different. 50 children sitting in a classroom with the same teacher, with the same books, in the same periods, lectures, doing the same activity for the next 10 years of the primary and later on the secondary and college education. But how many of those kids, how many of those students are able to succeed, get it anywhere remarkable, or at least what they plan to do? What I'm concerned about is understanding that process of how we are different. Though people love to say that we are all the same, and there is a whole need of people to try and manage large volumes of humans, and that seems to be the easiest way is to treat everybody equally. Not because we want to give equal rights to everybody, that never happens, as we know. But treat everybody equally is a slogan which helps them to tell everybody that I can make one rule and it applies to everybody. So it just reduces the effort on that person who is managing this large volume of people. It's got nothing else to do. No one rule applies to anybody. Each person is unique, each person will have his own business. You may buy ready-made dresses from the malls, and right now the tailors have become quite a ancient thing, defunct. Not all the ready-made clothes are made for everybody. So they're fixed sizes. So you're either small or you're medium, you're large or probably extra large or double X. But you can clearly see that we are not the same. People have different heights, different body shapes, different body weights. The proportions are totally different. You can very clearly see that with a naked eye. But yet, because the world has now come to that, we do not want to make clothes for each individual and all, and they want to make money by making one size fit all kind of thing. You are medium, you are small. What is between small and medium? I don't care. You either wear small or you wear a medium. That is their way of pushing you into the accepting their laws, which very clearly they are trying to do. One size fit all, or we are all equal. So all mediums are equal and all extra large are equal and all so on and so forth. So we would like to study, I would like to dwell upon this part of how we got there, where we get there. We are an assimilation of the perception that we are creating right from the time when we were born. It is common knowledge by science that the human brain is developing till the age of 7. So that's probably a lot more to do with the biological development. But then the psychological development is a never-ending process. The psychological makeup of the brain, the mind, intellect, whatever you call it, That's a never-ending process. Every day, every impression that you are seeing, that is being made on you, everything that you are experiencing, it is going and adding something to your experience which is already there, your previous experience. But as a child, when we grow up, we listen to a lot of things without understanding, till the age where we have not understood. Our vocabulary is poor, and that could be till the age of probably 10 to 12, where our vocabulary is so poor that most of the adult talk is not necessarily being understood by us, but it's getting recorded by us and processed by us. In that adult conversation around us, with parents, with relatives, with friends, with teachers, with neighbors, we are exposed to a lot of different mindsets. We are not aware of that. Parents are not aware that. Nobody actually pays attention to that. But imagine that you are a recording machine. You are like a mic out there or a video camera, and everything is getting recorded, and not just get recorded. When it gets recorded, it is forming actual rules, laws, and methods to live or understand things. It is forming opinions in your mind. So if it was just a recording device, it would have been maybe easier. You just record it, keep it, and probably erase it or never look at it again. But all these things calcify. So once they go through your mind, they calcify in your mind, forming one particular opinion, perception. Now it works like a tapestry. So as a child, you started understanding language, and then you heard things like this is good and that is bad, and that is not so bad till the time somebody is telling you about just about probably cold and hot knives and gates, saying don't use this, don't touch that, don't this thing. So that's for your safety. But the conversation that goes through your ears straight into your mind and calcifies is also that chance conversation where two adults are speaking about how a particular community is good or not, how a particular business is good or not, what should be done, how should we take decision about some marriage or some public function or social function in the family. So some of the gossip and the bitching about the family of this person being good and that person not doing good, and what somebody did to somebody and that was not good and so bad, and why some of the things that you're doing is considered bad, but it's okay, yaar, we have to do it, kind of thing. These things are being recorded, perceived, and calcified by every mind over there, and that is also that young mind which is not able to discern between good and bad, and is depending on what it is learning to form opinions that is good or that is bad. So nobody is aware this process is happening. The most critical, the most crucial experience of a growing child, of any human being at that stage. All these things together create a structure of filters, creates a structures of barriers, create structures of channels where things will flow easily or may get filtered and flow easily or will get tagged and then they'll. So this tagging, this filtering and this channeling of thoughts is what makes you take decisions later in your life when you are going towards your adulthood. So your propensity to wanting to do a job or learning in school and college, like I have to get this good marks because I have to take a job, because it's been told to you and fed to you that ultimately your goal is going to be to take a job. So your mindset is being made by someone else, and you, even after reaching adulthood and after reaching maturity or majority of the age of 21, you do not pause to think that most of these thoughts that I have and most of the decision making based on the perception which I've gathered was in a period where I was not in my senses. I was not of that age to understand things. We don't think like that. We don't think that, oh my God, there is a lot of things that has been loaded onto my, let's say, computer. So your computer has a lot of softwares and apps and a lot of files, which right now you think they should be there because they are there. You have not ever thought of sitting and understanding them and saying which file should I still keep or not, which we do with a computer sometimes. We do remove old stuff and things which are clogging our memories and making the computer become slow. And we never do that with the files and the perceptions and things that we have gathered in our childhood. Most of us, or rather all of us, understand whatever has been taught to us as gospel truth. So all of us got a religious belief, faith belief, handed down to us, literally shoved down our throats. And we had no understanding or ability to understand whether what we are understanding or we are being told is right, wrong, according to whatever, how we see it. The thing to see, why should you start thinking about those files are relevant or not? Let me tell you an example, I give you an analogy. So assume you were born in 2000. By the time you reach maturity, it is 2021. Now you're a mature adult, old enough to now make major decisions, not just about smaller decisions probably, but major decisions. You're 21, you're marriageable age, you already will be looking for a job, and now you're making decisions, you're moving freely in society without assistance and all. So you are of that age. But since the time you were born, 2 decades have gone. At least 1 decade has gone since the time you had started understanding things. At the rapid pace that life is changing, the norms are changing, society is changing, technology, knowledge is changing, getting discovered every new day, and every time we are understanding more and more about a lot of things. And we are evolving. The society norms change. A lot of things which were taboo some time ago are being accepted now, or becoming part of our social fabric, and we are okay with that now. So given all that, that itself is a case for you to start keeping and throwing away files, which to keep, which to throw away. Exactly like you would do on a computer, because the new software update has come. And when you update the new software, it automatically, some of the files become redundant for that. And unless you want to keep them desperately, and then you will upgrade the file. You can't keep it in the same form. Hang on to that thought now. Upgrade the file. This is what I'm trying to tell you. That even if there is a particular piece of information, knowledge, understanding that you have from the time when you were 10 years old, and you hang on to that and say that I think this, may not necessarily be wrong, because if they told me that you still need to upgrade it because it will not run on the new OS. We need to understand this analogy. Your OS is changing constantly. New upgrades are coming every year. Your old file will have to update, and then some of the formatting you lose, some of the things will have to change, some of the things will not show up as exactly like that. So when you are being told, say, like about your religion, you accept it that since you are born in a family which believes like that, you will believe that. Fine. You have no say in that. You had no this thing. I have no argument about that is a good thing to do or a bad thing to do. But say you were, what stops you now when you're 21-year-old to reaffirm your faith? Think about it. Where you question, not criticize, but you don't accept at face value, and you want to understand what is happening vis-a-vis where the world is today and where your future is. Because the worst thing is where you are carrying a computer which has a lot of redundant files which will not work without Windows 76. Just a joke. Some old version of Windows. So before you want to start improving anything in your life, change your life, read any self-help books, the first thing you have to do is re-engineer your mind. You have to go into our belief systems which are there, especially those systems which are there without your real consent. So anything that you believe from your childhood and which says that this is good and this is bad, or do this and don't do that, is something that you need to understand, question, and accept, probably with an upgrade, probably with a tweak, probably keeping part of it, probably doing something. But the day you start doing that, that means what you're doing is now your OS, your mind OS, the human mind OS, is now getting upgraded. Therefore, anything that you want to process from the present world will be far more efficient and accurate. Otherwise, there will be constant gap. So just because we go ahead and read a particular book or listen to a particular motivational speaker, it will still not work with us, because between the time where you're taking in the information and implementing it, there is a processing that your mind does on that information. And if your mind is already contaminated with certain things, this information gets mixed with that. And when you try to execute it, it is that new piece of contaminated information that you are executing, not the main core information that was given to you. And this is something you cannot stop yourself from doing. The moment you look at something, your mind sees a pattern and immediately passes a judgment. First and foremost, we need to start understanding ourselves and update our files before any more progress can be made in self.